Senator Daines, we're delighted to have you on the subcommittee and the full committee as well.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Secretary Castro, for appearing before the committee today. It's good to have you here, and I appreciate your dedication to HUD. I grew up the son of a home builder, so it's in my blood ever since I was a kid, shoveling a lot of gravel and carrying a lot of sheetrock. In my home state of Montana, tribal communities are some of the most impoverished communities and have tremendous housing needs. In fact, according to a 2012 HUD study, though only 1.2% of the national population self-identifies as American Indian or Alaska Native, 4% of all sheltered homeless persons, 4% of all sheltered homeless individuals, and 4.8% of all sheltered homeless families self-identify as Native American or Alaska Native. As you can see, these communities are some of the most impoverished in the country, need accessibility to HUD's existing programs. One constituent of mine, Tribal Vice Chairman Dana Wilson of the Crow Tribe in Montana, he said this, and I quote, "Homelessness is invisible because the Crow people always take care of each other. It's not uncommon to see 10 to 20 people living in a single home. Given the nature of homelessness, especially among veterans in Indian country, there's severe doubt in whether or not HUD has properly allocated funds towards homelessness in tribal lands. Year after year, folks in Indian country have voiced their difficulties to me and my staff, but we've had little response from HUD, so I'm glad to have the chance to interact on this issue. How much are you aware of this, and what can we do to change this situation?
Yeah, you ask just a fantastic and very meaningful question, Senator, and one that I know impacts your state and many, many others. And, you know, I'd like to say that our title is the Department of Housing and Urban Development, but really it should be the Department of Housing and Community Development, because we also make significant investments in smaller towns and tribal communities. In the 7 months that I've been Secretary, I've had the chance to visit now probably about 25 different cities and almost 20 states. The most poignant visit that I had to any community was to the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota. And at Pine Ridge, I saw two houses. One that was a 4-bedroom house that had I believe 11 or 12 people living in it, and another that was a 4-bedroom house that had 17 people living in it. And I heard about the 85% unemployment rate there. And in one of the abandoned vacant houses that I went into, I saw on the ground, and we picked up one of the pamphlets that they give folks at a funeral ceremony, and the picture on the top of it was of a young Native American in his full military uniform that had passed away in the community. So this is an issue of tremendous focus for us. The good news is that for the first time now, HUD VASH dollars are available in tribal communities. We just made that announcement about a month ago. There was a $4 million set aside as a beginning for HUD VASH availability in tribal communities to be administered locally, of course. So we see this as a good foot in the door to grow support for addressing veteran homelessness. I would also say that, of course, resources, the everyday resources of HUD and the VA with regard to veteran homelessness are available to Native American veterans, but the challenge is on tribal lands. Right. And the HUD VASH specifically addresses this.
Yeah, and I look forward to, thanks for that update too, what's happened in the last month. And perhaps we should change it to housing and community development, and maybe part of your legacy there. Given that
my only concern is that then we wouldn't have the HUD actually sounds.
I know
HCD sounds like a department.
Yeah, you're probably right. We'll figure out something. Put that in the marketing department in charge of that there. But back to this rural-urban divide, I think that so often some of the challenges we face, particularly out in states like Montana.